जो हम आज मैं वीडियो लेके आया हूँ, आज जिस पे बातचीत होगी, सबसे पहले हम बात करेंगे इंग्लैंड वुमेन और इंडिया वुमेन्स के बीच जो टी20 सीरीज़ फाइनली ख़त्म हो चुकी है और किस तरह से इंडियन टीम ने इस मैच को जीता, इस बारे में बात करेंगे। और कल एक ओडीआई सीरीज़ भी ख़त्म हुई, आज एक टी20 सीरीज़ ख़त्म हुई। तो जिस तरह से आयरलैंड और ज़िम्बाब्वे के बीच में मैचेस हुए, उसके बारे में बात करेंगे और इस बारे में बात करेंगे वेस्ट इंडीज़ की टीम को क्या मिला इंग्लैंड को हरा के, क्या पॉजिटिव्स हुए वेस्ट इंडीज़ टीम के साथ और कहाँ इंग्लैंड पीछे रह गई। तो आज बहुत कुछ है गाइस, बात करने के लिए बने रहिए हमारे साथ। और मैंने अब लिंक भी प्रोवाइड कर दिया है, आपको कमेंट सेक्शन में जुड़ सकते हैं हमारे साथ और अपने सवाल भी रख सकते हैं। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं सबसे पहले इंडिया वर्सेस इंग्लैंड वुमेन्स। तो इंडिया वर्सेस इंग्लैंड, और जिस तरह से हमारी टीम है इंडिया की मैं बात करूँ, तो उम्मीद हमेशा करते हैं कि यार हमारी टीम ना अपने होम कंडीशंस में एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन प्रदर्शन करेगी। लेकिन इंग्लैंड टीम के लिए मैं तारीफ करना चाहूँगा, यार क्या परफॉर्मेंस दी इस टीम ने। तो हमारे साथ है राहुल अय्यर, इनसे बात करते हैं और जानने की कोशिश करते हैं क्या इनका एक्सप्रेशन है। हेलो राहुल, हाउ आर यू, हाउ इज द
Hi
डे?
Kunal, how are you? Yes, I'm doing good.
ओके, so Rahul, finally India versus England women's series finally concluded, but good thing is that India finally back to winning ways. All things are going good. Means if I talk about after World Cup, Indian team whenever they make the experiment, things are going good. Shanka Patil, a spinner who is taking 3 wickets, and for Vishnoi also. So Rahul, what are the things that goes good today for Team India so that they beat England?
Well, finally they managed to put together a good bowling performance, and that really set up the match nicely for the Indian women to win the match. It went well right from ball one, and almost everyone got wickets except Deepti Sharma and Tita Sadhu.
Yeah. So Rahul, first of all, talk about Tita Sadhu. Means Tita Sadhu was really one of the good bowlers, a good economical bowler, good wicket taker in Asian games. But when it comes to international circuit, things are very different. Means Tita Sadhu is not looking ready for international cricket as of now. How much I have seen in his bowling, he's bowling too much full tosses. So Rahul, what is the difference between Asian games and now in international cricket? Pitch difference?
Not just the pitch difference, but also I think a quality of the opponents, because Asian games is very different. You play a lot of weak teams, or may I say garbage teams in Asian games. This is international cricket. England is not like any of the opponents that India faced in Asian games. This is a much more serious opponent. So she'll have to learn. She's 19 years old. Hopefully, she will learn from this experience. Today, she bowled only 1 over and went for 16 runs.
Yeah.
But hopefully, she will learn from it and improve.
Yeah, okay. So Krishna, how are you?
I'm fine, Konal.
Yeah. So Krishna, how much you are happy today? Means finally Smriti Mandana back to his form, 48 runs, and he needs such knock to come back to the form. He was struggling. So how much you are happy?
Yeah, I mean she played a good knock, but it in the series she should have actually played a good knock in that second match. So India could have got close to 120, 150. Then means improve strike rate also. So India could have won the series also if Srimati Mandana could have played that good this way knock in that second match also. And don't forget, England were missing. Three, four players who didn't play in this match, especially Nat Skipper.
Yeah.
She was also in good terrific form. She was also not playing. And Daniel White also, who got sold in the VPL auction, also was rested from this match because of the Test series coming up. So, but it was a close contest. I thought that India women would finish it fast, means in 15 overs, but it went to 19 overs. I was also means England women came back in the last couple overs and took it to the last over, because I thought India women would win it by comprehensive margin, but in the middle overs wicket fell. So and Smriti Mandana also should actually play good fast knock. She was playing good knock today, but she should should have played this knock in the last match so that India could have won the series 2-1, I feel.
Yeah, okay. So, Krishna, how much this win will give confidence to Indian team when they will play a test match against England 4 days after 4 days?
Yeah, but Kunal, Test match is a different side and T20 cricket is a different game. In Test match, in women's cricket, mostly the series gets drawn. Only after a long time, Australia only won a Test match against England in England. So after a long time, in Test cricket, results comes. But if you see in women's cricket, mostly Test gets drawn away. So I don't want this series to get drawn away. So that means in women's test cricket actually in Kunal people don't watch it, so people won't much be focused on it because you have South Africa tour also, so people will be much busy on that tour, so mostly people won't watch this test match, so because this will but India will get confidence after this, but Smriti Mandana in that test match has to also play a very good now because India also have a batting shot because I do
Okay. Yeah, Rahul means some valid points from Krishna also means we know that women are playing very less test match. But again, Rahul, it is all about momentum. Cricket is all about momentum and how you are carrying it. So, do you think, Rahul, this win will give some confidence to Harmanpreet Kaur to build a team and how to play in a test match game against England?
Well, you see, T20 and tests are two different formats. So I don't think the T20 result will have too much of a bearing on the result of the test match. And also, like Krishna Nair correctly pointed out, in test cricket, in women's test cricket, there are only 4 days. So you have less time to force a result in a women's test match. So I don't think the result of the last T20 against England will have too much of a bearing on what happens in the test match. You have to see what happens with the test match. And I feel that women don't play test matches too often. And I
Yeah,
think with very good reason. I guess one is it's not a question of the physical stamina or anything. It's just that, women's cricket is not in demand like men's cricket is.
yeah.
And thing and
Viewership also.
having a test match in women's cricket would be a little bit of a loss making venture for cricket boards who are already many of them are already going into losses financially for organizing men's tests, so not many cricket boards will be interested in having women's test cricket.
Yeah, of course, Rahul means your point is good, but I think for better cricket means if you want to enhance the cricket for women's also, test match is also important. Means it will definitely test the skill of a player. How much player is physically fit for match fitness. Test match is really essential. So really interesting to see means which player are going to perform it. Well, if I talk about some player like Smriti Mandhana, Shefali Verma, Harmanpreet Kaur, they have played test matches for India, and I'm really excited to see Renuka Thakur how he will bowl in test match. Fast bowler.
Yes, absolutely. I would definitely want to promote all the three formats for women's cricket. Make no mistake. In fact, I feel maybe we can have World Test Championship in for women's cricket because you
Yeah,
see for ODI World Cup you have men's and women's competitions. For under 19 you have men's and women's competitions, be it ODI or T20, you have men's and women's competition for each category of World Cup, be it the senior or the juniors. So why not have a World Test Championship for women, in my opinion? And you can have it just like how, like in IPL, you play only one match home and away against each team. You can have similar format for women's cricket. You can have a World Test Championship, and after maybe say 2 years you can have a final similar to men's cricket. You can have a world test championship for women, and I would even go on to advise that in test cricket there should be under 19 competitions. Like you should
yeah.
have under 19 world test championship should be there in both men's and women's cricket.
Yeah,
If
okay.
you
So
add
Rahul,
this context, then maybe you will get some interest for these matches. Actually, women's cricket, the interest in women's cricket has gone up. It's just not up to the level of men's cricket just yet. But you have to do these kind of things to elevate the interest in women's cricket. As a matter of fact, in women's cricket, there is a qualification pathway for the ODI World Cup where you have there's an ICC Women's Championship, which is similar to the World Cup Super League in men's cricket. If women's cricket can have that kind of a qualifiers competition for the ODI World Cup, why not men's cricket?
yeah, of course. Okay, Rahul, now comes to the team combination of Team India also. Rahul, we are going forward with Rajeshwari Gaikwad. We got a good replacement of Julan Goswami, Renuka Thakur. Today we have seen Shriyanka Patil, the way he bowled, Kanika Ahuja. Do you think Rahul means Dipti is not in a great form? Means Dipti should go to now domestic cricket and we should give some window to Shriyanka Patil, Kanika Ahuja, Manjot Kaur, means those who can bat and bowl properly for Team India as of now, because we are making a team for T20 World Cup also. So, do you think Rahul means India has to go forward from Deepti also as you are going forward from uh, Rajeshwari Gaikwad? You are getting Shaika Ishaq who is bowling pretty well. So, do you think Deepti should go to domestic cricket and improve it? That will really help India in World Cup time also.
Yes, absolutely. See, if a player is out of form, it doesn't matter what stature you are, whether what to say, a player with 10,000 runs and you played for 10 years, or whether you're just, what to say, starting off in the international cricket. If you're not getting the form in international cricket, playing internationals continuously will not bring back your form. You have to go to domestic cricket or need to go back to the nets, go back to the drawing board. Everyone has to do that. Any player, big or small, has to go back to the drawing board at some point in their career when things are not going their way.
Yeah, of course. So let's see how things will goes on. And India have another series also after that. There will be India versus Australia. Australia coming to India. One test match and T20 series also. So India Australia is also one of the good battle we have ever seen. So really interesting to see how women will perform against Australia. We all know that how Australia is dominating. So
And Australia women captain is also now appointed Elisa Haley, right, from ODI and I mean, all the
very
formats.
experienced, a very experienced player, and it will be very interesting to see him as a captain. Okay, guys, now let's come to the another series that is West Indies versus England. Rahul, your comments on West Indies? How much you are happy the way West Indies perform against England?
Yeah, great performance by West Indies against England. They almost lost it at one point when Will Jacks had that three-wicket spell in the middle overs. I thought England would turn the match around and end up winning it, but great innings by Romario Shepherd again. I think once again he has rescued West Indies. If you remember in the first
Yeah,
ODI,
first one.
when it was target was 325 and West Indies was 200 for 5 or something. Romario Shepherd played a crucial innings. He has done that again in this third ODI, and he's really gotten West Indies a very valuable ODI series win. This is exactly the kind of start they needed after the ODI World Cup. Definitely the kind of start they needed.
Okay, so Rahul, if I want to talk about Shai Hope also, we are always talking about him whenever West Indies performing. But the new role of Shai Hope means you are playing in the middle order and giving youngster means seeing the future of West Indies. You are giving youngster opening place. Alik Esthanaje. I think Alik Esthanaje has capability to play in red ball and as well as white ball ODI and Test. So Rahul, how much you appreciate this decision of Shai Hope means? I think Shai Hope is capable of playing in middle order now.
And yes, absolutely. He can definitely play in middle order. We've seen that in the first ODI so far. And even in the second ODI, he played pretty well. So there's no doubt he can play in the middle order and he can be very adaptable.
Yeah. Now come to Rahul. Rahul comes to against England. Means what happens to England? Rahul means I think England is very confused, means they are mixing T20 players and ODI players. I guess that's why the performance is coming like this. First of all, I want to say some names like Liam Livingston, first player that I think he don't deserve to be in ODI circuit, because Leon Livingston is different player, means he can't stay on crease or give some runs for you. I think in bowling also he is not so good. So your points on Leon Livingston, Rahul, I think Livingston should play only T20 as of now for England.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely agree. Some players have to be. You shouldn't mix formats and select players. Some players have to are better in T20. Some players are better in ODI. The earlier you make the distinction between ODI and T20 format, the better, in a general sense.
Yeah, and we have seen some selection of test format player also in ODI, means how Jack Crawley you are fitting in this team. It is really means it looks like very for me, means how you can manage this Jack Crawley in a middle order of England, where England is already struggling in making runs. I think Rahul, it's better you will use Joe Root maximum number of times, because in ODI Joe Root is different player. I know there's a concern of form, but when you are going to West Indies, you should think about your ranking also, everything, and your World Cup is not in a great, good. You are not in a good knocks in World Cup times also. So, do you think Rahul means adding Jack Crawley is also one of the big blunder for this England team? It doesn't working, Jack Crawley.
Yeah, I'm mixing T20 players and Test players into this ODI squad. That's what I noticed because Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley were actually opening the batting for England in the Ashes earlier this
And you
year.
are
It doesn't make sense.
using
You have them in the middle order all of a sudden.
yeah. Okay, Krishna, your views on England team means they are playing with 4-5 openers and they are playing in a middle order. So how England will make it?
Man,
Really,
this is a really pathetic decision by England board to play Zach Crowley and Ben Duckett in ODI cricket. They don't have experience in ODI cricket, and still they're making in the 11. But if you see that England batting order is good, but they are not performing. Even Zach Crowley, he's given been chance for England in ODI circuit, but he's not performing. So why are you still backing him? I don't understand. And Ben Duckett, as Rahul Ayer said, both are in Ashes Test modes. They are in openers. How can you play them in ODI cricket? And Zach Rowley is a opener, I feel. So why can't you open him with Will Jacks or someone? Because this England team is got confused, gone crazy. They are doing anything in this ODI cricket after the ODI World Cup poor performance. This series, they are thinking that this is not that means it is not concerned to be means World Cup is after 4 years, so this ODI series is nothing. So they are thinking this way, but in cricket reality, you should have played your main like players like Roy, Basto should have played in this series, so they can gain their forms and come in 2025 Champions Trophy and World Cup also. So you should have backed them players. And Stokes also, I feel he won't continue in ODI cricket after he said he will retire after ODI World Cup 2023. So I don't see Stokes coming again in this ODI lineup. They have to. I think they will play with Liam Livingstone also. That's a blunder. He's not a ODI batsman. He has only played one good knock against New Zealand in England. So he's not an consistent run scorer for England in ODI cricket. Still, they are backing him. And if you see, Butler's form is also not there. Butler is also not scoring runs. He's been struggling since World Cup. So he has to bring his form if he has to continue his captaincy. So if he doesn't perform, if England doesn't win Champions Trophy or 2027 World Cup, then I think Butler should resign as captain and make other player a captain. But they don't. Root might take ODI captaincy. I don't know. But still, Butler's captaincy is also in doubt because he's losing so many matches as a ODI captain. He lost so many home series as a ODI captain. So I think his captaincy is also not that great because of his captaincy. Form is also not there. If so, Babar Azam form is not there under his captaincy, so he resigned immediately. So Butler should also do that only, I feel. Kunal, because this England ODI team is becoming poorer and poorer. After the Ian Morgan retirement, this England team is gone, means they are performing very underperforming themselves in ODI cricket nowadays.
Yeah, okay. So Rahul, now after this series, there will be a T20 series where Russell is coming back to his team, means now hitting capabilities. Maximum number of hitters are back in West Indies team. So Rahul, how much it make the job difficult for England team in the T20 series also? I guess West Indies will going hard against this England team,
Sorry,
taking
Kunal,
the
can you
confidence
please
of ODI
repeat the
series.
question?
I am saying, taking the confidence of ODI series, West Indies team will be very confident after adding of Andre Russell, Kyle Mayer, Jason Holder. I mean, so many hitters are there. So this will make a really difficult for England team to perform in T20 series against West Indies, and already World Cup to be scheduled in West Indies. So I think West Indies will be very confident
Mm,
after ODI series.
After this, so well, we have to see how they carry the confidence onto the T20 series, because West Indies, although they're hosts of the next year's World Cup, they also need to build some confidence that they can play well at home and be a challenge for other teams. For England too, it's a question of adapting to the West Indies conditions. They've got the best series among all the teams before the World Cup to prove themselves that they can play in these conditions.
Yeah. Okay, Krishna, what is special in Andre Russell means KKR is very desperate to pick him. West Indies is also back him whenever World Cup comes in. So what is special in Andre Russell? Despite of injury, all teams are interested.
See, Andre Russell, one good thing that he can finish you the game. You saw in IPL also, he finishes most of the game for KKR. So I think West Indies are backing him so that he can finish the innings for the West Indies team. I feel because in middle order he can play apart from Holder, because Holder is not a T20 type of a bowler, not an batsman also. So I think in place of Holder they will play Andre Russell, and that's a good option with Akil Hussain also with part of him as an all-rounder. So Russell can win matches for West Indies also in given time. So in this T20 series, it will be good test for Russell also, whether he can come back to his form also. In this T10 league, he was not that in great form, but and in last year's IPL
But
also,
in one match, he was great.
yeah.
His bowling was pretty great
Yeah, in bowling
in
he
one
has
match.
cutters, off cutters, and that all his variation is also very good, Andrew Russell. So I think it, and in the slow conditions of West Indies, it will be good that he's back, and as a bowling unit also West Indies will use him. So it will be good bowling unit of West Indies, because we already saw when India played T20 series, 5 match series in West Indies, which West Indies won 3-2. So you saw that it was a low scoring game. Some matches were low scoring because of the conditions. So Russell will have a huge impact in this West Indies team.
Okay, anything you want to add, Rahul? Means why Russell is very important for each and every franchise is West Indies always back him during World Cup times, especially T20 World Cup.
Yeah, because he's a very big hitter. Yeah, he bowls a little bit as well, but more than his bowling skills, he's known for being a big hitter with the bat, and he can really clear any ground with absolute ease. And we have seen that in the IPL as well. Even in the IPL, he's got the ability to motivate other teammates and make them perform well. So I think that's a very good reason to select him.
Yeah, of course, valid point, and I guess it will be a good series. And I hope means England team will give some contest to West Indies team, and we will see the interesting, entertaining series for us.
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise, means I think West Indies will be really interesting team in this T20 World Cup. We all know what is happening with West Indies in ODIs, but when it comes to T20, T20 format is can do anything. Means any team can win it in a given day.
Yes,
Right, Rahul?
absolutely. We can definitely expect some upsets from West Indies during this tour.
Already they have two World Cups, highest so far.
Yeah, the shows. I think a very big part of that is them playing the overseas leagues, which Indian cricketers are
Yes.
not doing.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, one more point is there for me when you are discussing about overseas leagues. Rahul means I have seen means Indian women are getting some opportunity to play overseas leagues, but I have seen some players like some years ago I have seen Deepti Sharma, Smriti Mandhana, Harmanpreet Kaur. This time he was in Big Bash. Do you think Rahul means for preparation of T20? They should consider means in Big Bash also some Indian players should go and play. They will get some knowledge how to maintain the pressure in the pressure conditions, different conditions they will ball, they will bat. So can you think that this will definitely help if BCCI is allowing the women's team to play in foreign leagues? Unfortunately, men can't go, but for women it is opportunity. Do you think Rahul means they all should play whenever they will get opportunity, even T10?
They don't have to play T10 necessarily, but yes, they should play other leagues like Big Bash League. Even I'll say Super Smash League, although it's not the one in New Zealand, although it's not a very big T20 tournament and it's played at the same time as Big Bash. But surely, even if leagues are happening at the same time, we can send different players to different leagues to, go get acclimatized and get exposure to different conditions, and at least send them to South Africa T20, IL T20, and Major League Cricket, where IPL teams own the franchises. At least over there, we
Yeah,
can have Indian players where the IPL teams own the franchises.
yeah. Okay. Okay, so Rahul, now let's come to Rahul is not there. Okay, no issues. Okay, so last series discussion about Ireland versus Zimbabwe means the way Ireland and Zimbabwe series was really interesting. Means I am very upset. Means very sad for Zimbabwe team. Of course, Sikandar Raza, Sean Williams. They are only player that they are performing, but no one is giving the performance for this team. So really. Disappointed the way Zimbabwe has performed means really heartbreak for them. Not qualified for ODI World Cup, not qualified for T20 World Cup, and lost the series also. While meanwhile for Ireland also they are not be able to qualify for ODI World Cup, but great series and a new captain is coming. That is Paul Sterling under his captaincy. Ireland team looking quite great and hope so. The team will definitely grow under him and Paul Sterling, the way he managed the team, that is really great. And if I talk about today's game, where they beat Ireland, beat Zimbabwe, what a bowling spell! If I talk about Joshua Little, 4 overs, 21 for two. What excellent figure for Josh Little. Great. Danley, 2 overs, 8 for 2. It is also the great figure for him. Craig Young, 4 overs, 27 for 2. Craig Young is coming after a long time for Ireland, and he was bowling pretty well against Team India. Also, Craig Young, and effective means a very effective performance for him. Really, what a performance! So we have Rahul here again, and he will give some points about Ireland team. So if I talk about Ireland team, what a great series, and under it was really a pressure on Paul Sterling to perform, and finally for Paul Sterling captaincy grows on. Yeah, with a bat, it was not a great series for uh, Paul Sterling, but overall under his captaincy, Ireland finally win it. If I talk about batting figures of Ireland team, uh, for Ireland team, Sterling 14 runs in the first match, 14 runs in the first match. In a second game, it was 10 runs, and in last game it was less than 10. So not a great series, and but as a captain, he was really great. So Rahul, if I talk about Paul Sterling, new captain for Ireland, and finally they beat Zimbabwe. We know that time is not good for Zimbabwe as of now. Not going in ODI World Cup, not going in T20 World Cup, but Zimbabwe is looking like means they will not be able to play cricket now. Means they are dependent on their senior players, and Ireland, the way they are performing under the captaincy of Paul Sterling, that was really excellent.
Yes, absolutely. They've done very well to win the series coming from behind. And yeah, they had some really good redemption this year. Let's not forget that Ireland could not make the ODI World Cup. They were in the same qualifiers as Zimbabwe and they could not qualify for the ODI World Cup in India. But
But they
before that,
qualified T20 World Cup.
yes, but they qualified for the T20 World Cup, which was they actually played the regional qualifiers in Edinburgh, Scotland, and over there they sealed qualification for the T20 World Cup. So really great achievement by Ireland to qualify for the tournament, and yeah, this series win will give them a lot of confidence.
Yeah, of course. Now ODI series is also going to happen, so let's see how things will goes on. But Rahul, really concerned for Paul Sterling is his form. Means under his captaincy, team is looking great. Everything was great under his captaincy. His captaincy was also good, but form of Paul Sterling will be a big concern for him, and it really impacts the team. Not a big score from. Uh, Ireland, but it was the Ireland bowling, a bowling of Joshua Little, McCarthy, Mark Adder, and Craig Young. Means all the four fast bowlers are performing in a day whenever they got the opportunity. It was a full bowling performance of Ireland.
Yes, absolutely. Ireland bowled very well in the last two T20 matches. And one thing, Paul Sterling, uh, if he wants to keep his place, well, he can keep his place in spite of his poor form as long as the team is performing well and they're getting the results. I think that'll be enough to, keep him in the team. But he needs to, in the long term, you can't always depend on results, especially when you're playing in stronger oppositions going forward. So he needs to find his form with the bat as well. Hopefully, he will do that.
Okay, Rahul, what is the good thing you have seen in Ireland? Means if you see some series of Ireland team, I think in this series they have good all rounders who can bat and bowl both.
Yes, absolutely. Curtis Camphor, Harry Tector, these guys have really
Greyheart
been very
Denley,
valuable for the team.
Greyheart Denley is also there, who is performing.
Who?
George Dockrell is
Yes,
your another all
George
rounder.
Dockrell. Yes,
Yeah,
and yeah, so they're having a really good time right now. This is a good performance of them. There's also an ODI series coming up. Although we'll uh, one thing you're going to hear very often now that the ODI World Cup is done is ODI is irrelevant. That is going to be something we hear very often.
yeah, but for these teams, each and every ODI game is really special for them because they are getting very less opportunity to play. So Ireland will take it really seriously, and let's see how Zimbabwe squad will be there. Uh, let's see. I think Irvin is also not there for T20 series. Maybe Irvin is not playing in ODI series. As of now, there is no squad of Zimbabwe, but Zimbabwe will give good fight, especially Ryan Burl, uh,
Yeah, Sikandar, we need
Raza
definitely
and
need Sikandar
Sigir.
Raza and who else? Sean Williams. These guys are pretty much the only bright spots for Zimbabwe at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, so Rahul, last question of this video: how much you are disappointed for rain interrupted the game of India versus South Africa? One more match gone down for India preparation.
Yeah, unfortunate. We cannot do much about the weather. That's how the sport is. But I guess this also brings in the need for, and this brings in my emphasis further on having a way to get around this rain. Like if a match is scheduled on the day, it should happen completely and it should not be any interruption. We need to consider having retractable roofs in cricket matches. At least for international games you need to have it.
Yeah, I think each and every nation who is playing cricket, I think they have to think about that also. Means you are making a roof in front of the stadium, means to cover the stadium. If there is a rain, also it will not interrupt a game. I think you have to
Mm,
play under
that is
lights.
also
It's
there, and at many lower levels of cricket, you see indoors cricket.
yeah.
Cricket is happening. So
I
why
think
can't we
one
have
indoor
indoor
stadium
cricket?
in Australia also, I guess.
Yes, the Geelong
Yeah,
Stadium
Geelong Stadium.
today. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the BBL match today over there got stopped because
Because
of
the
a
uneven
bad pitch.
bounce. Uneven
Yes,
bounce was
uneven
there.
bounce on the pitch. They had to stop the match. That's very unfortunate. But you need to maybe consider having indoor stadiums. Even existing stadiums, you can convert them into indoors
Yeah, of
in
course.
order to,
Some
you
country
know,
has good funds, especially Team India, very richest country in the world. So I think India can do about that also. That yes, make
yes,
roofs.
absolutely. And even in England, Lord's cricket ground. In fact, in countries like England, you need these things more because England is a more rain-prone country than India. So you need to have these kind of things like stadium roofs in order to prevent, or you need to have what to say, some kind of technology to keep the rain from. I don't think such a technology exists, but some technology to ensure that the rain doesn't fall on the ground, but that's even more complicated. Having a roof is easier.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, one question that I'm asking you, Rahul, means it is not. I'm just joking, but question is really interesting for you. Let's see how much you are interested to answer this. My question is, Rahul, means we have seen 10 franchises in IPL and in WPL means if you are getting any opportunity means you are in future maybe you are a good businessman and you are getting opportunity to invest on team. So Rahul, who should be your captain? Means if there is mega auction and you have to pick three players to retain. So which women players you want to retain in your team if you get opportunity?
So one my number one choice would be, I mean, assuming that I'm probably the owner of RCB Women, I'll
Maybe
probably,
you will be a CSK. Who knows? Mixed
yeah,
perspective.
maybe. Well, actually, if I there is a CSK women's team, first player I'll try for is Smriti Mandana. Uh,
Okay, you are backing RCB player. Okay,
Yep, Smriti Mandana. Then I would probably try for
okay.
Meg Lanning, and probably Sneha Rana.
But I think Maglaning will be backed by Delhi Capitals, so it will be real difficult for you. I think so.
Probably difficult. Backup option would be maybe Alyssa Healy, the wife of Mitchell Stark. So
Yeah, great option. I think it's great. Yeah, the jokes apart, but yes, it is a really interesting question. If anyone got
yes,
opportunity, because
first of all, I will. First of all, if I really become a businessman, I'll want to buy a CSK women's team. First of all, I think I don't know why. To be frank, half the IPL franchises do not have a WPL franchise. Another thing is why the women's tournament is not playing a home and away format. Okay, because IPL when it started off, there was home and away format even with 8 teams, whereas in WPL they've only had 5 teams to begin with, and it's all being played in Mumbai. You can't expect fan loyalty if your Bangalore team is only playing in Mumbai. Bangalore team should be playing in Bangalore. Otherwise, why you have Bangalore team? Just make all the teams Mumbai teams and play in Mumbai itself.
yeah, it is really interesting. But now, Rahul, it is all about distance. Also, I think BCCI will think about that when I I think it will goes to season 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe they are waiting for maximum number of teams. Who knows? One day it will be 10 teams.
Yeah,
Possible.
perhaps. But you see, BCCI did not know that men's IPL would be a hit either when they started the IPL concept off, and still they had home and away format. Because you see, in India, there's no lack of stadiums. We could have IPL in home and away format from the beginning because we have the stadiums uh, to give the home ground experience to all the teams. You see, you look at leagues like PSL, for example. Uh, their Pakistan Cricket Board is not that rich that they can have home and away format, and there's also constraint of like certain venues will are not safe, where you can host cricket, other than Karachi and Lahore. Not many other venues are safe enough to host cricket, so it's hard to have home and away format over there.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka Cricket Board cannot at the moment, and Bangladesh Cricket Board, they cannot have home and away format with their leagues right now because of the expense of traveling and all that. But BCCI doesn't have such a constraint. They can easily afford to make the teams travel. They can afford to pay for the travel and accommodation in different venues. I mean, we're the richest cricket board.
Yeah, let's see how things will goes on, but I'm really feel for women's team means they need something, some hype for them so that everyone will watch it. And it will be very proud for us that our women's team is playing cricket. That is really proud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much, Rahul. Means how
Okay,
nicely
Kunal.
you answered the question. That is really great. Means this is a talent of discussion, because otherwise other will say that means it is can't possible, but in future you can do anything, you can utilize money
Yes,
anywhere.
yes, absolutely. And in fact, in the future, I know a lot of purists will not like this, but as league cricket expands, I was just talking about Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Bangladesh not having home and away format. But as franchise cricket expands, you can expect that many venues will have their home grounds, for their franchise teams, because if franchise cricket becomes is played more often than international cricket, then every franchise will want to have a home ground, right? Like Islamabad United in PSL, they will want to play in Islamabad. They won't want to play all their matches outside Islamabad because that's where their main fan base is. You want to play in front of your fans, so that is important.
Yeah, let's see, Rahul, means how Pakistan versus Australia series will be there. And let's hope that Pakistan will give some good fight to Australian team, otherwise it will be
Yes.
clean sweep.
To be frank, even if Pakistan plays their best, there's a good chance of a clean sweep against Australia. History is against them, and perhaps even form is against Pakistan. So it's going to be very difficult for them if they can
Only one
even get a
positive
good.
so far is their captain is hitting double century in practice game. That's it. Only a single thing that is good for them.
To be honest, you can't go too much by practice game because that practice game was against all kinds of lower level Aussie bowlers. You
Yeah,
won't.
but
They're
it will gives you some
scoring a double
confidence.
century. See, scoring a double century against what to say? Who are the bowlers?
Yeah, means they are big
See,
BBL bowlers
scoring
and
half
T20 bowlers.
double centuries against bowlers like Steketee, McAndrew, Buckingham, Todd Murphy, Webster,
Yeah,
McSweeney, Matt Renshaw. This is not going to be the same as of having to face Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazelwood, Pat Cummins, and all that. So it's going to be a total different ball game. And the first Test match is in Perth. That's going to be a very tough place to defeat Australia. I know it's the new stadium. It's not the Waka anymore in Perth. It's the Optus Stadium, but that stadium plays the same way as Waka. Nice. It'll be nice and bouncy, and it'll be friendly towards pace. So Pakistan is up against it in this series.
yeah. So many cricket is there. So we will have a discussion about that. So tomorrow we will back and we will talk about another cricket events also. So guys, if you like this video, like our discussion, just subscribe it and subscribe Sportsbeat and KFCS. Thank you very much, Rahul, for your time, and it is always
Well,
pleasure to have a good discussion with you. So many series is going to start it, so we will cover that also, and we will have a good discussion. T20 series between England and West Indies, ODI series between Zimbabwe and Ireland. So many things is there, and of course India versus England women test match. We will cover it because very few channels covering it, so we will want a maximum number of
and
audience.
there is India touring South Africa. Hopefully, we will. Hopefully, the next two matches will not get rained out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we will get
Oh,
some kind of cricket because this is also a series where Surya Kumar Yadav can prove himself as a captain,
because I am
and
getting
I
some
think that.
news that Hardik Pandya is back on Afghanistan. Against Afghanistan, is back.
To be frank, look, it is if God help Indian cricket team if we cannot even decide who our captain is going to be until IPL time. Okay, you can't go into a World Cup, frankly speaking, not even knowing who your captain is going to be. And Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, I think it's high time make a decision now whether you're playing the T20 World Cup or not. At least the selectors will go ahead with the finding another person to lead the team. In fact, make the decision of not coming back. That would be the best decision. That would be in the best interests of the team. You cannot disrupt a team environment in T20 cricket that has been existing for the last 1 year right now. And if you're trusting Sky for this series, you've already trusted him to captain the Australia series, and now you're trusting him in this series. Why don't not have him as the T20 World Cup captain? This Hardik Pandya is not very reliable. He might play the Afghanistan series and then he could get injured again and be out of action for the T20 World Cup. There's no use trusting him as a captain. You need to. I think Surya Kumar Yadav should be the captain for the T20 World Cup right now. It's time to really decide. With 6 months to go for the World Cup, you can't still be undecided about your captain. That's an absolute joke.
Yeah, let's see how things will goes on. So thank you very much, Rahul. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Have a good content of another events. Deadline. Thank you very much. Goodbye and good night.
Good night.